Hey guys, Mike the Vike here, back for yet another video. Today we're doing a Rust update. Pretty solid update this week, one of the best ones in a while in my opinion. First things first, this is on my Rust server of course. I've been playing on here the past 2 weeks on an alt account, having a lot of fun. It's 2 times gather, 2 times XP. I've made some fixes to a couple annoying plugins recently, like Raidblock for example, which makes people not able to TP out their loot. We've got a bunch of other unique stuff which I think is definitely worth checking out. If you want to join, there is a link on how to join in the description. In the meantime though, you can just go to the modded category and search Viking and my server will be there. So the first thing that they added that's important is the double barrel shotgun. Firstly, I do think the scale in the player's hand is kind of absolutely ridiculous, and I sure hope they reduce it. Like, if you look how massive this thing is in comparison to the pipe shotgun, you know, this is a nice small little gun, and if you think about it, the double barrel should just look the same size as this, but have 2 barrels instead of 1, pretty much. So the scale of this thing's way too big. And damage-wise, I think it needs a buff too, to be honest. It's a good gun, I just think it needs some tweaking, and it looks really sick no matter what. Like, that just looks absolutely ridiculous. Like, this is just supposed to be a 12 gauge shotgun, and you have it looking like an 8 gauge or something absurd. It's just a 12 gauge, and if it's an 8 gauge, then why doesn't it have the power of one, you know? So, we're gonna try the damage on the double barrel. This is a pretty reasonable distance, you know, spearing distance. And you can see it does not kill him in 1 hit. Alright, we're going to do the same test, same distance, same ammo with the pipe shotgun. And you can see that it kills him in 1 hit. And honestly, I understand that they're trying to make it not too overpowered, but I disagree with this. I think if a pipe is able to 1-hit somebody from that distance, so should the double barrel. Now their logic is that, oh well, it's still faster than the pipe because if you hit him with both barrels, then overall it will be more damage. That's stupid. That's just not the right way to look at it. Anyways, it's a good gun, but honestly, if you want to do well with it, kind of run around with 2 of them. With that said, is it better than a pipe? Yeah, it's better than a pipe, because you have 2 shots. But it's still underpowered in my opinion, and could use a buff. Next up with this update, they changed finally the crossbow. A lot of people were unhappy with the fact that you couldn't sprint and reload at the same time. I think it was a little bit extreme, so they've now gone back to the old system. You can sprint and reload, making this thing a little bit more viable. Next up, they added a Satchel charge, which is a cheap and affordable explosive for the early to mid game. It's a heck of a lot better than nothing, and it's better than the bean cans. It takes 4 bean cans and a small stash to make. And what I'll say in terms of effectiveness, pretty much you only want to use it on wood doors, sheet metal doors, and maybe ladder hatches. Armor and stone walls, it's just really expensive. Okay, so here's the demonstration. And of course, just like the bean cans, there are some chances where it could have a long fuse. It could not go off at all. You have to reset it. So, for a wood door, it takes kind of 1 charge because you can just hatchet down the rest of it, so that's pretty cheap. A sheet metal door, it takes 4. Boom, got through. But armored, for example, I think you need 10 from what I remember correctly. Yeah, it takes 10 charges to take out an armored door, and with that you're looking at like I think 5,000-ish gunpowder, maybe 3, I'm not totally sure. So I mean, if you have the spare gunpowder and you're not level 25, then it makes sense. But otherwise, you're probably better off grinding to 25 so you can afford C4, which is a lot more cheaper. And the ladder hatch is the same health as the sheet metal doors. It's 4 charges to take it out. At the end of the day though, it's a lot better than nothing. Before, people weren't able to raid until 25 reasonably. So this is great to have, and it means that you can actually go on raids pretty quickly from the get-go. Next up, they changed how reviving works. Before, you could revive someone in like a millisecond and they'd be right up, which was super annoying. Now they made it so you have to wait around 6 seconds before they're fully revived, which is excellent because, yeah, it just didn't make sense before. Next up, they buffed the semi-pistol and the revolver, both making them a little bit more desirable because before they weren't all that effective. They increased the magazine capacity on both of these by 2 shots, and honestly, they're good. Are they as good as the semi-rifle or anything above them? Probably not, but they're still a lot better than what they used to be. Of course, though, they are pistols. They're not going to be good at range, as you probably know. But for close quarters, these things are extremely effective because of their minimal recoil. And finally, they now allow you to rotate objects when you're placing them, or before you're placing them. Just by pressing the R key, you can rotate them 90 degrees, which is pretty fun. And I personally didn't see this as much of an issue, but apparently the community did not enjoy this. So, if you wanted that, it's now in the game. That's great. Now, this week we were supposed to get the graphics overhaul, but unfortunately it wasn't ready for this week, which is kind of sad. I was really looking forward to it, but hopefully we don't have to wait all the way until September, because of course that's when school starts up for a lot of people, including myself. So hopefully they can just push it out next week or something. The only concern with that is, of course, probably would result in a map wipe, which people wouldn't be happy about. And lastly, they are soon to be adding a M4, and I just thought I'd let you know about it. It's a really cool looking one. It's not exactly an M4, it's an LR300, which is sort of just a variant. It still has the same features and characteristics, of course. Just looks a little bit more unique, which developers are always looking for. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for this week. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you want more of these update videos, please let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.